and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Roaring News. It's going to be our last newscast before our break, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in for myself and co-host Violet. All right, so you are looking live at a remote location. One thing I want to go over, and we'll talk again, we are not going to be going back to school on the 20th as first thought, so block teachers will take care of switching you and letting you know when to get into the new Google Classrooms. We will get you the codes, so don't worry about that. We have one more block to finish out the year. Okay? There was a letter that was sent out, and this is up on our website, and it says, this is an important message for everybody. Please be advised, schools will not reopen on Monday the 20th. All right, food distribution will take place on April 6th, which was yesterday. The next one will be April 20th because we are on spring break. Just like regular spring break, students, you won't have to do any work unless you need to make some things up. Take a well-deserved break, all right? So the next food distribution will be on the 20th, all right? But our next newscast will be the 21st, unless there's any breaking news. Again, students, do your work so you can get your name submitted and get a book autograph from Miss Culligan. This is a great thing, a digital book, but she's going to offer the hard copy to the students who are doing all their work. Now, we had a couple things going on, and the first was, where should Mr. Camp put the giant sign? And we had one person say Mr. Greenfield's door. We had no other suggestions, but it can go wherever he wants. If Mr. Camp decides to wake up, then unfortunately, staff, he will put it where he wants to. All right, Mr. Camp, be aware that the condition you get it back in might not be good, however. All right, we had a couple students, or at least one student, send in their school spirit shirts after the last video. So here it is, another student displaying school spirit. You can always send your pictures. Hashtag VMS at home, and we will try to get your videos or pictures up on the screen. So now we have some shout outs, our normal shout outs for different things here. And the first one is to all our superheroes who are hospital workers and people helping out in this pandemic concern. Anybody that's going above and beyond, we really appreciate your work, working tireless hours to make sure everybody else is staying safe. All right, so that's our first shout out. Our next shout out is to good old Violet here. I went into her Google Classroom and got her assignment, which was to read. So I just tried to model some reading for her, and as you can see here, she's doing the same reading her book. She is reading on a 9th grade level. All right, the next shout out will go to Maggie Fitz. Maggie Fitz beat Rory 16-15. Now, they were both tested for the virus, came up negative, so they were able to play one-on-one. As you can see, nobody else was in the gym. Ms. Burke was over there filming the game to make sure there was no cheating. And, of course, it was a very close game in overtime. Maggie Fitz 16, Rory 15. And we have a couple more shout-outs. One is to Miss Todd, who made the cover of Teacher Magazine, and one to Miss Kulik, who made the cover of Softball Spirit. Now, when we get back to school, you can go ahead and see both of them and congratulate them. They're very humble. They don't say much about this stuff. And they will be able to give you an autographed copy. All right, there's very good articles in both. We've got 2 outstanding superheroes in our school, so I want to give them a shout-out as well here. And now to our teacher's pet section. Our teacher's pets this week are, I guess you say it, Gemma and Abby. They're Miss Haley's pets. The first one, the cat, was breaking into the refrigerator, and the other one was there. Now, we did have a few more name suggestions for the pet that Miss Johnson has. As you can see, Daniel, Samuel Donald, and Squirtle were some additional ones. But you, the viewer, voted. And that pet is now named Mr. Moffat. So I don't know if Miss Johnson is going to throw any food to that pet or try to encourage it kindly to leave. But the name will be Mr. Moffat. So congratulations and voting on that, the name. And we have Mr. Brush and Brett, and he got a new pet this break named Snoopy. All right, so we'll give them a shout out. What do you think, Violet? That's Snoopy over there, the dog. And then we have a couple other shout outs. We want to go to the classrooms. And the first classroom we will go to is mine. We have Tommaso Tagno went ahead and completed his online exercise for STEAM class and got himself a certificate. Excellent job. And the last assignment we did was to have students engineer masks. If you've listened to the governor, he suggested when we go to any stores, if we have to go, and anytime you can't control your immediate surroundings, you should be wearing masks. So the students were challenged with making a mask of any other materials they had around the house. And as you can see here, the class was definitely up to the task and more. So this is just a few, so shout out to them for the great work. The next one is Miss Spickenruther's gym class. An outstanding job of giving assignments to the students. Here's just some pictures of the students doing some of their outside work. So we want to give Miss Spickenruther, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Brosh a shout out for designing these interesting lesson plans. And when we get done this video, I'm going to play a little video that was forwarded to Miss Eller's class of Eve Ortiz singing a little song, which we encourage you to do. So it's a great thing that we'll have at the end of our video here. All right, so remember some key things. Spring break is April 9th to the 19th. All right, send your pictures. Hashtag BMS at home. All right, send them out, get them to us. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. And be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. Thank you.
Shattered like you've never been before. The life you knew in 1,000 pieces on the floor. And words fall short times like these, when this world drives you to your knees. You think you're never gonna get back to the you that used to be. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. Beginning, just say that word, wash over you. It's alright now. Lost in hands that pulled you through. So get back up and take step one, and leave the darkness in the sun. 'Cause your story's far from over, and your journey's just begun. Until your hearts beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. Let every heart break, and every scar be a picture that reminds you who has carried you as far. 'Cause love sees further than you ever could. At this moment it's working everything for your good. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. And me, to tell your heart to be. Oh, glad.
And welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Roar